They said, well, we have an idea for you. And they had sent a couple weeks earlier, they had sent this video. It's you might have seen it, the Dancing Man video. It's got millions of views on YouTube. It's this guy at a concert.
Then let's watch a movement happen, start to finish, in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons.
So we're prepping for this 2.5-day leadership event. We had a leadership company. As we're prepping, they're like, well, you need to, you're the CEO, you're going to do the opening, and then we're also going to have you close it. And I was like, yeah. Like, I got this. This is my jam. I love energizing. I love speaking, etc. Totally got it. But I could tell they kind of wanted me to prepare. So I did. I prepared the opening, not a script. I never script, but I put some thought into it and had sort of an arc. And it was great. And then they said, well, also the ending. I said, well, I can't prep the ending. You got to wait, see, right? You got to see what happens. Like, it's a build up. They said, well, we have an idea for you. And they had sent a couple weeks earlier, they had sent this video. It's you might have seen it, the Dancing Man video. It's got millions of views on YouTube. It's this guy at a concert, and he's all of a sudden starts dancing. Then everybody else starts dancing. And I can't remember who did it, but somebody wrap sort of like this leadership message around it, like something about followers of the lone nut. And it was this whole like leadershipy, like people follow others.
Sure, yeah.
So fast forward, it's the day before the event. They come into town. It's like 4:00. We're kicking it off that night. And we sit in this office. There's 5 of us crammed in this office. And they're like, okay, Erin, do you also have your closing prepared? And I was like, well, roughly, but I want to wait to see. And they said, well, what about the video we sent you? And I was like, oh yeah, the video you sent me, that's great. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do what he did. I'm not going to show the video. I'm going to dance and then get everybody else to dance. And they were like, well, have you watched it? Because it's got this really good message over it. And I was like, okay. I said, let's pull it up again. So we pull up this laptop and they start playing it. And I swear I only could make it like 10 seconds. And I stopped it. And I said, look, not for nothing, this guy isn't a leader. He's drunk. Mm-hmm. And the people aren't dancing to follow him. They're drunk too. And the reality is, I want to seek inspiration. Like, I never like to copy what somebody does. I sort of take it, make it my own. And I love, though, the idea of somebody dancing and then other people following. So I'm just going to dance. And I swear to God, Zach, they all, like, including my team, like my team member, they all kind of just look at me. And I go, okay. Are you worried because A, you think I'm going to make a fool of myself, or B, you think we're going to have this great 2-day event and then I'm going to ruin it by dancing on stage? And they're like, we're not worried about the second one. And I was like, perfect, I'm doing it. They were like, not like, that's an amazing idea, but they weren't like, don't do it. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it was 100 people. This is my team. This was my leadership team of the company. Right? These were all my leaders. This isn't like I was doing it in front of investors. So they were just, I think they were worried about what I look like an idiot. So fast forward, I go through my closing. And I knew by the end of that 2 days, like, I already knew who was going to first dance, because I knew this woman in the front, right? A certain person has energy. She was one of our like service op managers. And sure enough, they put on the music. I start dancing. Not 4 seconds later is she up dancing. Not 10, 15 seconds later, the entire room is dancing. I ended up going down off the stage to each table. Especially some of my older men employees, like the worst dancers ever, but they were doing their best to shimmy. Everybody was up. And when we got done, I remember going over to the leadership company that we worked with, and they're like, oh my God, that was like, it could not have ended better than that.